You can pause the video here and read about the exhaust system, but I'm going to mention about the exhaust system's component, which is exhaust manifold, exhaust pipes, catalytic converter, exhaust muffler, the resonator, if equipped, the tailpipe, the hanger, and the heat shield. As mentioned previously, the resonator could be equipped with your vehicle. In this vehicle, it is equipped and is located before the muffler, and is only used to reduce the sound of the engine by canceling out a specific sound frequency. Mainly, we're going to be talking about the catalytic converter, which is an emission control device that reduces exhaust gases. So, how the catalytic converter works within has a chemical reaction, and this chemical reaction has two stages. One is the reduction bed, which transfer nitrogen oxide into nitrogen. And the second stage is the oxidation bed, which transfer hydrogen carbons and carbon monoxide into water and carbon dioxide. The catalytic converter has an oxidation storage, which is basically storing oxygen during lean condition and releasing O2 in the rich to provide O2 oxidation. This is a reminder that you have to warm up your catalyst to effectively reduce the emissions. And two, catalyst converters are not serviceable, so if a catalyst converter is bad, you must replace it. In the next clip, I'm going to show you the O2 sensors. Usually when we're reading O2 sensors, we're just identifying if we're running lean or rich. But the O2 sensors for a catalytic converter is good when you read and compare the upstream and downstream of the O2 sensors. If it's very similar in reading, then you have a bad catalytic converter. Engine bay by the exhaust manifold. We have our first O2 sensor, which will be our upstream O2 sensor. Here's our downstream O2 sensor, which is on top of the catalyst converter. Here is our catalytic converter, and our inlet is all the way up there, and here's our outlet right here. Here we have our temperature readings. Right here we have our readings before we even starting the vehicle. The inlet and the outlet, which is just room temperature. Over here is 10 minutes. I couldn't complete it, but as you can see, it increases as the time passes, as the same as our rear. However, the difference is about 10% from the inlet and the outlet. Here we have it at 2500 RPM for 5 minutes. As well, you can see that it increases as time goes by. Same with the outlet, but there is a difference from the front, the inlet and the outlet. As you can see here, after 5 minutes of 25,000 RPMs, we finally reach our operating temperature. And here is down the exhaust system. We did it by foot, and as you can see, it cools down, or it gets cooler as we go down the exhaust system to the point where you can touch it normally and you won't get burned. This is our reading for the outlet. It's 113.6, and for the inlet, it's 349.3 for the 5 minutes.
Okay, we are about 5 minutes into our catalyst heating.
In reflection, I was
lab.
wrong here. I say that we
And
don't have a downstream O2 reading, but we do. It's clearly there on the screen. It's just a standard zirconia sensor, and it's reading a little rich.
It's it's reading right at 1. It's been bouncing around a little bit high, honestly. And our commanded is just a little bit below 1. Coolant temps getting up there is almost to 140. And our long-term fuel trim is sitting pretty low at -11, -12. But our short term is trending high from that at 7. So it's kind of balancing out. But this seems pretty normal, pretty standard. And we are at the end of our 10-minute idle test period. Our long-term fuel terms started to go back up, and our short terms a little bit down from 7 where it was sitting. And then everything else is reading just fine. All normal. We're getting up, we're almost to 160 coolant temp, and we're about to start our 2500 RPM 5-minute period. Okay, we just started our 2500 RPM testing, and our coolant temperature came up about 20 degrees already. And short-term fuel trims bouncing around a little bit, and our long-term fuel trims come up even more. But outside of that, it's all the same. All the O2s are reading good, and yeah.